Hello and welcome back to Lord Fenton Gaming Plays Divinity Original Sin Enhanced Edition. I'm your host Lord Fenton. In this Divinity Original Sin Enhanced Edition video, after we get out of the homestead, we're going to meet Madora, add her to the team, and start and finish the side quest called The Apprentice and The Stone. As always, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Do not forget to hit the notification bell so be update and much more. Now, last time we went to the crime scene. Unfortunately, we arrived here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and finish some of the dialogue here before actually exiting this area.
Why are they good to see you on the shelter plane? A home away from home, is it not? Like the imp said to the ballista operator, shoot! Wouldn't it just? Would that I had a Starstone sightseeing guide, but alas, such a booklet does not exist. Just like yourselves, Starstones are curiously absent from history, both in my writings and on the tapestry of time. From what I can gather, though, they were once cherished by devious sorcerers whose reign ended long ago. The stones are therefore most likely to be found in the ancient places of this world. Ruins, caves, the lairs of long-forgotten evils. Those are the dens you should frequent. 2 more pieces of advice. Don't go unarmed, and consult with my agent. Neither do I, but the mere fact that activated Starstone has set the Weaver of Time weaving again more than implies that it and the Void Dragon are natural enemies. This in turn more than implies that you are the Void's natural enemy, for it is you who is setting new events in motion. You who is handing the Weaver new threads. And that which she is weaving is more than an ornament to decorate the shelter plane. It is both history and future history. It is all of time. We may not understand the how yet, but our aim is clear. We shall save creation from the grip of the void. Now, isn't that a lovely mission? Oh, I don't know if I'm more than those things per se, but having been given a divine mission does have its perks. Old age can't touch me, that's one. Immortality is mine as long as no one skewers me with a sword, and even then I'll be back in a jiffy. But of course I have a price to pay for something that is priceless. It is my duty to record all of history, and an arduous task that is. Not to mention how much stress that void out there is causing me. The end of time. I'll be out of a job. So, gather those Starstones so that we may know the history that was lost. Know so that we must not repeat what leads us to this dangerous precipice, but do better and close the dark eye of the void forever. Lonesome, observing the frontier of creation, surfing the vibrant tide of the eons, always approaching yet never reaching shore. Lonesome, being privy to all that has been and all that is. Well, yes, actually. I don't mean to complain, but one certainly doesn't mind a bit of company now and then. Perhaps you can imagine the profound pleasure it is to have made the Weaver's acquaintance after all these years. I can hardly wait to pick her brain about the great battle of the sons of Sigurd. The last Rivalonian who remembers it died more than 7,000 years ago.
How welcome you are upon this realm, our most honored guest. I hope you begin to find this place more familiar than it may yet seem. In the ethereal threads of eternity, do I record the deeds of gods and men, of beasts and spectral apparitions, the drift of continents through changing seas, the rise and fall of empires, the shift of every grain of sand on every beach, the fall of every raindrop on every world, the all but imperceptible touch of lovers' hands, this and all I chronicle without fault. Except, it seems, you. Ask and I shall answer, if I can. I am the weaver of time, as I have told you, though my existence is one that falls behind and yet far exceeds the verb to be. I am but what I am, and that is task. It is the same for the historian. Chroniclers both are we of the epics of eternity. Perhaps we are one and the same. Task multiplied by 2. Who has made us? I do not know. Why have they done so? I do not know. Am I the beginning? And am I to be the end? Who shall say? Perhaps I am the first thing in creation. Perhaps I am creation. Perhaps I am the creator. Or maybe it is you. You who makes dying stars rekindle. Time alone will tell. Alas, the answers to those questions still elude me. You and Starstone remain the imperfections upon the tapestry. As yet. A hidden answer lies behind this veil of inscrutability, though, for the link between you and the stones reveals that your destinies are intertwined. I believe that starstones will not lead you to new places of wonder only. No, they will also lead to new knowledge through the restoration of the threads of old. Quite so. Your absence, it should be an impossibility, but no matter where I look, you cannot be found. I do not know you, which makes you my one perennial imperfection, a blind spot in the eye of time. But perchance I may be cured of this blindness. Perchance the blemish may be undone, and time can be redeemed. What it is but a seed bereft of sun and water. What it could be, that is what the starstones will tell us. What it is but the end. What it could be is the end of ends. I reside in another realm altogether, but ever since the end of time appeared in these deep dark skies, I materialized here, as if forced to watch the one thing that is unwatchable, unendurable. A thankless task that you may yet free me from forever. I think that perhaps you can redeem time, because you create time. Indeed, you have set in motion an event I no longer held possible. Know that no longer I did weave. I sat here at the end of time and watched on as the void frays the fabric of time like a terrified god that fears the offspring of his own creations. But suddenly there was you. You who stirred the life within the stones. These stones, children of stars, they place new ribbons along my fingers like phantoms out of time. New threads emerged, and I began to weave anew. Starstone gives me new strands to braid into the tapestry. And because you give Starstone energy, it seems that you are creating time. These starstones, please seek them so that time may yet be mended. Please, for the sake of all that lives and all that loves, seek them so that the void may yet devour itself alone. Oh, Hunter, I have no need for company, like I have no need for air or appetite or affection. All I need and all I am is time. And time is running out unless you remedy its decline. And yet, I do enjoy your companionship, for you may prove to become the cure that will heal my slipping soul.
So basically this game, we're time deviants, but still we gotta do is start collecting these star stones. Reason being is more you collect them, more access you get in this homestead, which is a great thing. There are some wonderful options you could definitely have. Now for now, it's free and reign. I can steal anything I want. Yeah, in fact, I believe, I'm going to say 100% of this area, since this is your area, well, guess what? You can steal whatever you want. I'm not going to grab that treasure chest yet until I actually get one of those mule companions. So this way I can put some points in the lock picking. Yeah, you see there's a total of 4 companions to get, you could talk to, and there's other hirelings too. So what I'm doing is actually focusing on the 4 companions in this walkthrough. So as soon as I go through the portal, our friend who likes to shapeshift into a nice cat will appear. And yes, we will definitely get something very, very special. So I'm going to go ahead and teleport. I'll return after that is over.
Source Hunters, I welcome you once again to the realm of Rivellon after your travels through the chasms of space. Nice to have found a shelter, wouldn't you agree? Where you can come to no harm. I know the imp historian has told you about his agent on Rivellon, and that agent is I. So now that you know of the alliance between me and Sir Zigzags, let us turn to the business at hand. Starstone. And I'll be delighted to give it. Dark webs are being woven around these parts, and it is my firm belief starstones are the flies the sorcerer spiders are trying to catch. It can therefore hardly be a coincidence that Councillor Jake was a collector of the stones we seek. His foul murder and the plight of dying time must somehow be interconnected. That means the task you have been given remains crucial. Find the assassin that did away with Jake, for you're bound to stumble upon Starstone along the way. While you were being lectured by our friend the historian and the grande dame of time, I snuck into his house and had a look around. The advantage of being a cat, you know. You go where you please with impunity. And sometimes the lady of the house even rewards you with a slice of fresh herring. That's where I saw them in a cabinet. Mere slivers, but specks of starstones nonetheless. They lay there, silent and innocent, though bloody murder may have been committed in their name. Don't we all long for a sanctuary where our worldly troubles can be held at bay? A bed or a basket so snug it becomes, in a word, safety. But perhaps I speak only for myself, not for veterans such as yourselves that by necessity call any patch of ground they rest upon home. Like any cat worth its salt, though, I deeply cherish a secret refuge unbeknownst to anyone. To be able to repose without a care is such a precious circumstance, save it all too seldomly. Let me phrase it like Zigzags might. A universe without time is like a pen without ink. A pointless instrument stripped of the potential of creation. It is void. It is death. It is nothing. I'll not pretend to have all the answers, or that I understand all that is happening here and out there among the stars, but I do know I'd rather err on the side of caution. If Zigzags worries, I worry. We are talking about a creature, after all, that has reclined among the divines as nonchalantly as you and I lays beside the hearths of home. I met him first, a long time ago, out in the wastes of youthful Gaul. He wondered aloud what on earth a cat was doing out there in the scorching desert, then shared what little food and water he had with him. So I told him who I was and showed him my human form. He laughed and marveled and told me stories about his travels. In the end, he even shared his great sorrow with me. The unspeakable thing you saw through his looking lens. I was awed and frightened, but swore to help him in any way I could. As of now, that includes helping the two of you. Oh, before you go, here, take this teleporter pyramid. A handy toy indeed that Zigzags asked me to give to you. You'll need the other one too if you want to make use of its powers, but alas, I seem to have misplaced it. Don't worry though. Use this one here and it'll take you straight to its twin. Now that this matter has been settled, hunters, I shall detain you no longer. But rest assured, I'll do my share of hunting too. So if you spot a white cat during your travels, do stop to say hello.
The reason I'm not using the red pyramid is for one huge reason. It's part of the main story quest. I'm not fancying any other of the story quests yet until I do many of the side stuff. I felt like that's more important, just do the side stuff first in the city of Cyseal, or the town of Cyseal, whatever you want to call it. So anyways, I'm going to do is go ahead and check my choice. You see, last video I made a choice of being more romantic with the Charmed Female Orc and the guard who's in love with her. I want to see if that is a happy ending. There's some instances that your choice will either play out now or later on is the result. This is one of the later on stuff, so let's go ahead and check if I made a good choice or a very bad choice.
They're dead.
And they might have lived if we hadn't intervened.
Those fools are dead! I knew that she-beast would bring disaster. It was that orc! She snapped! Grabbed them, popped their necks, and then ran out of here like a wild beast! I'm only grateful she didn't notice me standing here. Can you imagine?
Big ol' oops on my part. Well, I was going for romantic points anyways. I felt like that was a great idea. Ooh, a wand. Well, at least I get that. Wait a second. I don't have anybody using wands. That's the last game. Yeah, I had she was a wand dual-wielding powerful water sorceress. And she ruled. If I ever build her again, it's probably going to get rid of the wand stuff and just focus on air and water. So, I'm going to go ahead and get the first companion of the game at the King Crab Inn. She is Madora. I felt like that's seriously important to get her. She's going to be basically my mule character. I have other two I have said that's much better for the permanent team, but still, she makes a great mule one. Now, if my main guy was not a two-handed sword user, Madora would have fit perfect. And I don't want like two-handed sword users through the entire game. Still, if you're having a different build than I have, she is a great person with a two-handed sword, and you just put some leadership points into her, and the way she will definitely go. I actually tried it in one of my many playthroughs, trying to get the Madora achievement/trophies. Yeah, her achievement/trophy, it's a total pain. There's some buggy issues too, so save often if you're going for those. So it is time to add Madora to the team, my first mule of the game.
Imbeciles.
Back, demon! Back, or I'll... Well, what's this? Oh, Madora, you lummox. 1,000 pardons, comrade. This old bear's edgier than a dodecahedron these days. I'll tell you, it sure does me good to set eyes on another of our order. From Academy West, aren't you? Give Captain Wartruce my regards next time you see him. You wouldn't. I trained up in Academy North, after all. We don't cross paths with you Westies all that often, but it's always a pleasure when we do. Madora's the name. Retired, or so the Order keeps trying to tell me, but never out of commission. My hand to your cause and my sword at your side. Heavens hornets! That's quite a story, comrade. And come to think of it, one that might concern you. See, I'm here on, well, Let's call it a loan from a town to the north of here. Hunter's Edge by name. There's been an attack there, comrade. Orcs. Not your run-of-the-mill savages either, but ones who've taken dark magic to new heights. What they want in Hunter's Edge, I can't say, but it's my responsibility to send them packing. Preferably with their horns in their suitcases and a knee-knocking fear of ever crossing paths with a sauce hunter again. I came south seeking the Legion's help, only to find it tied here in Cyseal. They don't have a spare soldier to send northward, and even in my finest form, I can't clear the place of that many orcs without backup. By the skin of my teeth, comrade. The savages were rounding up villagers when one of them activated a tripwire on our village wizard's property. Fortunately for me, that particular wizard has a penchant for things that go boom in the night. I managed to wrench free of my captor's grip and flee toward the forest. He pursued me for miles, but I'd lost him before I made it into the Cyseal hinterlands. Well, comrade, I hadn't thought of it till you tapped my shoulder just now. But perhaps that's where you come in. I need a contingent I can trust if I'm to take back the town. And the way I see it, you could use reinforcements here in town. I've been scouting Cyseal for some time now, and I believe I've sussed out sufficient intel to help solve the murder of the counselor. With our minds and swords in tandem, we'll make short work of the perpetrator. Well, you know the old expression, 2's a tea party, 3's an invasion. I know this place like the back of my hand by now, and the orcs up north will be short work for a trained-up trio of sauce hunters.
I had the fortune of challenging the fabled wizard of Hunter's
A fantastic plan. With 3 source hunters working in tandem, we'll put an end to all the evils bent against this fair land.
Another source hunter on the team will make us all the more formidable against this wicked magic. Welcome aboard, Madora.
That's the spirit. Listen closely now. Do you hear it? That's the sound of every orc and sorcerer in a 100-mile radius shaking in his wee boots. Careful, comrade. I think I sense a sorcerer in yonder shadows. Ask away, my friend, ask away. Always helps to know a thing or two about who's covering your back against the gnashing hordes, eh? More than I'd hoped, comrade. I don't know what in tarnation's gotten into the townsfolk here, but there's enough dark magic running roughshod to topple a small mountain. There's Mayor Cecil's doings for one, and the mysteries of our master Thelyron for another. And on top of it all, the feline menace is lurking at every hearth and shadow. Now, don't get me wrong, I think the mayor's a decent sort, even if he can't hear farther than the tip of his nose. But from what I've heard whispered around the docks, the old guy's gotten himself mixed up in something not quite on this side of the law. I suspect an illegal source artifact or substance is the root of it, but exactly what or who's given it to him, I can't say. And since I haven't technically been assigned to Cyseal, I don't have the authority to interrogate him. Fella seems like a humble doctor, but I'll bet my sword he's dealing in something darker than splints and tonics. A loose-lipped legionnaire let slip that she'd seen our good doctor scale the city wall on 2 separate occasions, well past midnight each time. What business could he have among the undead? Hardly the habit of an innocent healer, I'd say. You mean you don't already know, comrade? Their kind can see in the dark. It ain't natural. It's no coincidence the Order retired me, or tried to anyhow, to such an aptly named little town. Way back when, the settlement was chartered as a stronghold for source hunters to keep watch over the borders of the Phantom Forest. Don't let the name fool you, though. These days, the forest is little more than a smattering of trees and ruins. A perfect posting for an old bull and her dotage like yours truly. In the days of old, though, the forest played host to source devils of every make and kind. Hunter's Edge was a settlement of source hunters tasked with watching over the border of the forest and putting down anything smacking a source that might creep out of it. By now, it's been centuries since anything more dangerous than a badger has come out of those woods. By and by, the source hunters moved out and regular folks set up shop. But the town's charter requires that at least one of our kind remain to keep the watch.
Here are the stats for Madora. She has very good strength. Number 1. Number 2, the other ones are very nice. She's a two-handed wielder. Her skills as follows. Two-handed weapons, that's good. 2 points in that. Bodybuilding 1, that's pretty good. Man at arms are okay. That's about it. Now, like I said before, if my main guy wasn't a two-handed user, well, yeah, she would have been kept on the team. She's really good. For now, she'll be my crafting mule. So next time I level her up, I'm going to just go ahead and put a point into that, so this way I can make some nice things. Now, this guy said the same thing as before. This time, we go ahead and pick up the stone that teleported us into the homestead. Nothing will happen, but still, it's good to have. I'm going to go ahead and grab that chest eventually. I have to figure out what's the key to that. Besides, my main guy could definitely carry that. Now, there'll be another companion I will definitely use as a mule. This time, more like a lock-picking one. Yeah, I'm going to be doing that quite a bit in this game. And the other two, I'll show you all down the line, will be my main ones. I have a perfect setup for each of them, but still, let's investigate the rooms. I'm just moving things around. I am not stealing anything that is red. I don't feel like I don't want to be hassled by the guards at all. Yeah, besides that one's just watching the door. Still, that is like a bloody mess. Painting of a woman, we'll move all that over. I'm just checking for keys. You never know. We'll do that. Move that too. Now, eventually, I'll definitely come back sooner or later. I'll probably put the treasure chest back, maybe. So once I am done definitely with this crime scene and stealing the treasure chest, let me go ahead and explain what's going on. So, the Apprentice and the Stone is in the healer's home. Now, it's not the healer himself, it's his apprentice. Now, this apprentice will do is give you a romantic and pragmatic choice. So, if you're more romantic, take my choice. If not, go the opposite. A lot of things will happen between now and then. And yeah, we'll have ourselves another star stone. Yeah, one of those. Once we do that, well, we get another room. I won't have time to share it, but still, you want to do this quest at this point. In fact, I'm going to probably say is if you hadn't did the crime scene yet, do this one. This is another way to get into the homestead. Someone else will point that out. Now, that's where it's at. I'm just making sure. Yep, there's the sign. I'm not going to talk to any animals until I feel like it's a better idea I get a quest that involves them. So, I'm going to do all this stuff. Quickly show you the potion shop for this chapter. After that, I'll give everybody a nice update on what went down and much more.
But if one were to reduce the quantity of skull dust by a percentage of 2, perhaps the stability could be increased by as much as 3-fold.
Oh, a source hunter. Imagine that. Quite a bit more petite than the last of your kind I encountered, aren't you? Yes, by nearly 20 centimeters of tibia, as my memory serves. No matter. Even if it couldn't spare its heartiest specimen, I'm sure the Order sent the individual with the next highest probability of success. Yeah? Me? Why, I'm more than a little surprised you haven't heard of me. Perhaps I can jog your memory. It was I who cured the Duchess of Arata of her unslakable thirst, a simple pinch of Atropa belladonna in her morning tea. I who discovered that aging itself can be halted by a single application of Cicuta Douglasii on the tongue. Not to mention that it's been my guidance that has permitted my apprentice Evelyn to make quite a name for herself around Cyseal of late. Yes. If that's how we're referring to the secretive use of a revolutionary healing method she refuses to share with her own master. She's in the other room as we speak. Perhaps you can prevail upon her to offer a demonstration. She's gotten hold of a stone, supposedly capable of fantastic feats of healing, but she won't let me take the briefest look at it.
But she claims to have gotten the relic from a little northern town, Silverglen by name, and that an abbot there blessed it with the power to heal. Utter rubbish, I say. But with these blasted undead haunting the travel routes, I can hardly march up to Silverglen to learn the truth myself. Well, she certainly possesses a critical eye and an exacting manner when it comes to making difficult medical decisions. I expect she'll be a very successful healer in her own right when the time comes. She is learning from the best, after all. Certainly, what would you like to know? The counsellor. Terrible loss, that. Though we were hardly more than acquaintances, I knew him to be a devoted civil servant. From what I can tell, it seems to be a simple case of jealousy turned violent. The affairs of his wife, Esmeralda, were hardly a secret, you know. I've applied myself to that problem for 2 years and still haven't come a step closer to solving it. I declare it an act of the Almighty's, if I believed in such things. Some events, Source Hunter, can be neither controlled nor understood by mere men.
Who is more deserving of life? Come, make your case.
A mysterious healing stone. Interesting indeed.
Which of you is more
Nothing
deserving
sets me on
of
edge like
life?
inexplicable
Come,
magic.
make your case.
That relic of Evelyn's the so-called healing crystal. I've seen one like it before, and by the Patriarch's pockets. It's a relic of Source. One look at that gem will be enough to convince me it's no force of good, but a bloodstone through and through. I've come across such a stone before. It may be capable of healing, as the good doctor describes, but its origins are as dark as midnight. Bloodstone is so named for a reason, you see. What starts as a pretty gem is corrupted by sick sorcerers who infuse it with the blood of the slain. If that stone is what I suspect, I wouldn't trust Cyseal's so-called healers any more than I'd trust a pyromancer on a wooden boat.
Anybody? Neither of you cares to plead for his very existence? Excuse me? This is a private sick room. Who in the name of the Seven do you think you are barging in here? Out, I say, right this instant! Oh, I'm sorry. It's this task. I'm just... Who am I to meddle with life and death this way? I'm an apprentice of the healing arts. Healing! But this decision feels like precisely the opposite. I have but one healing stone, you see, and 2 direly wounded men who need it. I've been racking my brain trying to decide on the best method to settle this grave situation, but perhaps it's better off in the hands of an esteemed source hunter. Surely you are more accustomed to weighing life and death than I. What would you like to know? One of the brave few willing to traverse the trade routes plagued by the undead. A young man, but excellent in matters of business, before he fell victim to an orcish club in the north, that is. Thankfully for him, a cattle trader found him, nearly dead, but not quite so, and brought him here straight away. Quite the venerable staple of Cyseal, Stephen, and recently blessed with his 3rd grandchild. He was leading a crew of builders when a stray beam struck him in the temple, and only a few days shy of his last day of work before retirement, no less. Nearly everyone in Cyseal is familiar with grinning Stephen, and, as you can imagine, he's quite dear to his family. Yes, a curious relic indeed. I got it from a kindly abbot, Loic by name, in the northern town of Silverglen. He is of a certain faith, the Immaculates, they call themselves, that espouses the belief that certain stones can heal wounded flesh. I myself was nothing if not skeptical of his claims, but something happened as he handed me the stone. A small cut on my finger instantly healed, leaving no trace of the wound. Needless to say, I was astounded. But it's strange. The stone is only good for a single use at a time before it reverts to a useless, inert state. It takes time to regain its magical properties, and I guard it cautiously. You are? I thank you 1,000,000 times for your help. Who have you decided should receive the healing stone?
Stephen should receive the stone. We know full well the difficulty of growing up without a family.
Yes. Let's return a healthy Stephen to his family as soon as possible.
Stephen, it is? Yes, I'll deliver the stone. I'm glad we'll get to save one man, but my heart breaks for the other. No, this is highly abnormal. What is this? This lightning?
I don't know what I did to deserve this, but I'm beyond grateful.
Back, Source Hunters. I've been eagerly expecting you. You found another star stone, haven't you? Go on, ask me how I know. Aha! Mere child's play when you know what to look for, and luckily, I do. Do you remember when you first arrived on this plane, when the dormant portal that led us to this hall sprang to life? It's happened again, my friend. Another portal has reignited. The end of time is growing by the stone. It's all connected somehow. You, this place, the void, the stones. Soon we'll have unraveled the whole truth. Oh, how I do love a good mystery. You don't imagine that I'd presume to explore it before you? No, that would be most unmannerly. And not to mention, well, No, I'm sure it's nothing. It's just that beyond the portal, I sense a presence that I can't quite account for. It is at once powerful and faint. Perhaps only a shadow, perhaps more. But this is only speculation, of course. Come, let me show you the way. Once you're through, you'll be able to report exactly what we're dealing with.
That was tons of things to definitely take in. Now, I did complete the Apprentice and The Stone side quest, so that is done and over with. I got myself 1 point in Romantic, because I felt like Stephen, well, he has a family. The other guy didn't. You can pick whatever choice you want. So in the next video, I'll definitely go ahead and explain about the Hall of Heroes. For now, let's go on in and hear our Source Hunter's nice reaction.
What an impressive room.
So it is. A hall fit for kings.
After going into the homestead, getting some information, I met the person who loves to transform into a cat. Got a nice red pyramid that I will use in a future video. After that, recruited Madora onto the team for now. Then completed the Apprentice and the Stone. Because of that, I am at the Hall of Heroes. In the next Divinity Original Sin Enhanced Edition video, we're going to talk to that mysterious lay who's sitting down. While you want to sit for my Divinity Original Sin Enhanced Edition walkthrough Madora, plus the Apprentice and the Stone video, this is Lord Fenton signing off. Thanks for watching and have a great day or night. Please stay safe. Please subscribe to my channel for more content like this. If you like what you see, then pick my suggestions on the upper left hand corner or YouTube suggestions on the bottom left hand corner. Have a great day or night and do enjoy the barbecue.